Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. Happy Sunday to you. And this is going to be a Raid Shadow Legends video going over everything happening in game. We've got a lightning offer popping up. We'll talk about if that's a good deal or not. And then we've also got the guaranteed event for Allsgore coming to a close. We'll talk about the community's opinion on this, what percentage of players ended up pulling for the event, and if I did and why I didn't, why I did, all of that while going over the tournaments and events and everything happening in game to keep you in the loop as we wrap up the weekend heading into next week. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so this is how Plarium gets us. This is how they get me to talk about the shop. First thing in the video, they pop up a lightning offer that I can't close before talking about the other stuff. So let's go ahead and plug it in. We've got 1 million silver. And then we've got the 6 4-star chicken. Okay, got it here. And 640 of the XP brews. 6 epic books. Okay, and then it'd be 50 times 4 is 200 multi battles. By the way, there's a couple different versions of this offer I've seen on Reddit and stuff, people posting, so the ratios will be pretty similar, but I saw one lower than mine, and I'm sure there's one higher than mine as well. 2 of the 5-star chicken, 2 of the legendary tomes, 10 energy refills, and the price of mine is 30 on this version, a 1.23 for this lightning offer. So honestly, not that bad. Usually the lightning offers are somewhere between like 0.9 and 1.3, so it's a decent lightning offer in terms of the ones that typically pop up. This one's going to be a lot better for a mobile user who is early game and can't farm the campaign as efficiently. Sometimes the end game players want chicken a lot less than early game players. So all in all, it's not a great offer, and it's also not one of the worst ones we see in the game, but I wouldn't feel bad about missing out on it if you don't scoop this one up. Now, in terms of news, it's over the weekend, so Plarium is kind of out of the office, so there isn't a whole lot of craziness coming down the line in terms of things that are going to be affecting you in-game. But in-game, you will see this Discover the Lore episode 2, and it's one that you see over there on the right, talking about some of the more like backstory details behind Ethel and her journey and what you saw in the last Call of the Arbiter episode. So that's linked in-game if you want to check that out. And as far as the hot topic thing going on right now, it's going to be the guaranteed event for Allsgore. Now, I've talked about this extensively in previous videos and stuff like that, and explained why I wasn't personally going to be pulling for him. And I predicted in my video before this event happened, I was predicting that about 7% of the community, I think I said 7. I'm going to go ahead and go on record before I host the poll. I'm gonna ask like if you're gonna pull for Allsgore or not, and I'm gonna guess that the poll will end up being 7%. I'm gonna say 7% of people are going to pull for Allsgore. That's my final prediction. Lock it in. About 7% of the community would pull for Allsgore if I did a poll. And shout out to the 6.6 thousand of you that voted on the community poll, and it ended up being at 9%. So I undersold all of you. 9% of you going for Allsgore, but I'll take that. I was within 2% of predicting how many people would go for him, but yeah, it's just not going to be one of those super hyped up ones compared to some of the previous ones that we've seen. Because you can see, like, when we have the pulling for the bonus legendary event, that ends up being at about 30%, whereas the Allsgore one is at like 9%. And then the last guaranteed event they did was for Michinaki for the 10,000 points. And you see there, we had a 26% participation rate, at least as far as the viewers here on the channel that vote on the community tab. So pretty obvious that the Allsgore event is going to have a lot less interest compared to some of the other summoning events, somewhere around like 1/4 or 1/3 as much interest. And I bet Plarium is going to see this. Hopefully it kind of sends the message to not do the 180 shards, because I think if this would have been like 140 or so, we would have maybe seen the number creep up closer to like 15, 16, 17%, and it would have been almost double as much interest compared to what they had by doing the inflation of up to 180. Because Allsgore is a pretty solid champion. I could see him helping some accounts out there that add him to their account, but with the inflation up to 180, it really kind of gave people a sour taste in their mouth in terms of trying to pull shards for the event. Then for the stuff happening in game, it's pretty straightforward. Not a whole lot of craziness as far as tournaments. You've got a bunch of normal stuff going on. The Dragon tournament, you might want to think about grinding today if you've got the resources, because there is 200 coins up for grabs at 1525, which is pretty decent. I'll probably try to make that happen today. And then under events, we are having Jetney come to a close. Make sure you get your artifact enhancement done today to scoop up the 4,800 that you're going to need there for Jetney. And then we probably should hear within the next week or two start getting like some test servers or some teasers about what the next champion is going to be. They usually do the fragments and the fusions at a pace of about once a month. So within the next week or two, I would expect us to start really understanding what the next event for a special champion in game is going to be. And hey, look at that. We did hit the 800,000 views to scoop up the resources there with the episode 2. These Call of the Arbiter episodes have been getting good viewership. So hopefully it ends up being a net positive for the promotion of Raid to kind of grow things and get that line trending in the right direction again. And this is the up-to-date analytics chart for Raid over the last year and just kind of like worldwide internet search interest and traffic. And you can see that you know, all in all for the last year, pretty flat, but this is about when the Call of the Arbiter stuff started happening, pretty close, and it looks like we're at least getting a little bit of a bump up. So we'll have to kind of watch it over the next couple weeks and see if that trend continues and we hit kind of like the approaching that new high for the year, or the current high for the year. But so far so good, and it hasn't been like nose diving or anything. It's at least been helping, if anything. I also do want to remind you, because I forget sometimes and I hate it when I forget, but if you are endgame enough to be in a spot where you are running the Iron Twins, today is the day you want to make sure you do it, because you are going to be getting double rewards. Whenever it is Void Affinity, you're getting double rewards. So make sure you dive in there and spend your keys today if you're at a spot where you can farm Iron Twins effectively. So now let's fire up the shop and see if there's anything worth talking about here. So for Allsgore, they've got this ancient shard of 23 times 8. So that will get you there. That'll put you just over 180. They planned that effectively. And it's about the standard going rate. Ancient shards have been pretty stable at about $1 a piece in terms of what Plarium usually offers them to you. Now, I don't anticipate this being, we already showed the poll, only 9% of people going for the event, and even a less percentage would probably be willing to YOLO out to spend that much to get him. Now, some of the high spenders are going to scoop up the ancient shards at this price just because it's kind of like the average market value of the shards. But yeah, it's not going to be one that interests me. I'm usually looking for more in that 1.5 range of spending. This would be more like a 1.0. And then we've got a pretty typical soulstone offer, so nothing crazy there. A pretty typical food offer, nothing super noteworthy. 10 for 30, about a normal void pack, monthly mini mix. Okay, yep. So really nothing super noteworthy in shop outside of the ancient shard package. This is obviously a special thing to help people be able to whale out and get to the 180 shard requirement for Allsgore if they would like to, but it's not going to be something that I'm personally in the market for. It's going to be more for like the higher spenders that really want to make sure they have enough to go after his event before it ends at the end of the day. Hey, and look at this piece I got of the Righteous set. Pretty solid tanky piece here with speed, defense, and HP. Why not? Hey, double speed during artifact enhancement event. Let's pop it up to 16, and don't give me a flat stack. You can do it. Come on. Hey, why not? Hey, that's a pretty solid piece. I'll take that. It's a double speed roll. A good tanky champion shield there for the Righteous set. So hey, good luck if you're pulling for Allsgore, and hope you're having a fantastic weekend. One thing to take note of is that Diablo 4, if you are a PC gamer or an RPG fan, Diablo 4 is going to be coming out like within a few days. In the next week, going to be one of the bigger game releases of 2023. So definitely keep your pulse on that if that's something that interests you. And there's also some exciting games coming down the pipeline to maybe be worth checking out. Dragon Air is getting some play. I will cover it for you here on the channel, let you know if it's worth trying out, and let you know my thoughts on that coming up pretty soon here. A possible candidate for a game to try out that's kind of got similar mechanics to Raid. But also this week, hopefully we find out what the next fragment champion or get some sort of test server and all that stuff going on, and I will keep you in the loop here on the channel as we head into next week. So I appreciate all of you. Remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.